Hello everybody, Gigi here. So tight_knots on Instagram had posted this, and she thought I had created a sugar skull. No, I did not, but I took it as a challenge, and I'm going to show you how I converted this crochet one by Alanis Iovios. Yeah, so it took me several days to figure out how to do it. I was able to get that taken care of, and I'm going to show you how we did that. And tight_knots on Instagram has named this for me, so it will be called Fantasia Calavera. So let me get my, well, hold on, I'll show you what I've done. And this is a prototype. I've made some mistakes in it, but we'll work it together. Okay, so I just had a little design going out there. I'll show you how I did that. These flowers are the poppy flowers from Isalicious Designs. Kate, I will have her link below, and I also will have Lana's link down below. Anyway, it turned out pretty cute. I love the way the back of the skull is. Excuse me. So I'm going to gather my supplies, and then we'll work on this. This part right here was done on the loom, the same way I did my flat sugar skull. And you can use any colors that you want. I'm going to modify this a little bit. These leaves were done with double bands, and I'm going to do single ones because they will lay flatter. You can see here I did a single one. They just lay a little bit flatter on the skull. Okay, then I'll show you how to attach those. So you can, if you don't know how to do a magic ring of 6, you can hop over to Kate's channel, and she shows you in depth how to do that. I'm going to go on the assumption that you know how to, or that you can follow along with me. All right, so I did not count my my bands. I apologize. These are all official Rainbow Loom bands. So I will be back, and we'll get started. Alrighty, so I'm going to do my magic ring on the end of this loom right here. What I'm going to do is just do a triple cap band. 1, 2, and 3. You'll have a total of 7 bands for this. Okay, let me move them out of the way. So first things first, we'll put our hook through there, grab a band, and do a slip knot. Okay, and then I'm going to just turn it a little bit. Go in, grab a band, pull it through, pull the end of that band through these two right here. So these two right here will go over that band. And give it a little bit of a turn. Slip it in again. You'll do that for your remaining 4 bands. And you can pick them up and move them over if that's easier for you. Always turning that around so that those are out of the way. I'll just pull them up and over. And then keep turning this piece right here. Okay, so it's out of the way. And I believe there are 2 left. Whoops, did I miss it? I missed it. I'll go back in here again, grab it, turn it, pull these 2 on the right hand side up and over. Turn that a little bit more. Come on. I am not used to doing this kind of a tutorial, so hopefully you'll bear with me. And there we go. Okay, now we can take that off of there. And it will look like this, or something like this. So I'm going to just give it a little bit of a turn to get them a little closer together. Okay, and move that out of the way. Then, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, right here, your very first one, we're going to put your band through that. And we're going to do 2 single crochets in that, whoops, in that hole. So, pull it through, attach the band, and let me see here. I want to Okay, what I forgot to tell you to do is to put a stitch marker on that last one that is on your hook there, because that's going to be number 1. All right, so I have my stitch marker right here. All right, so I'm going to pull that through, and I'm going to do the same thing in the same hole. So you're going to do that all the way around. You'll end up with 12 single crochets and pull it through. So that's 2. Go to your next one, which is right here. Slip your hook through there, and you can use a regular crochet hook for this if you'd like. Attach, pull that through those 2, go into the same hole, add a band, and pull it through. Okay, just like that. So you'll end up with 12 of these. I'm going to go off, I'm going to finish mine. So once you have 2 in there, you'll just go to the next one. Okay? When I finish this up, I will be back and show you the next step. Okay, so I ended up right here. So counting 1 on here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 spaces on that. I'm going to mark this with my hook, I'm sorry, with my stitch marker. Okay, because that is going to be the first one of my next row when I finish this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet, a double, single, double, single, double. I'll start that with you, and you should end up with 18 stitches. Okay, so it goes in, pull it out, attach, and then pull those 2 over the top. So that's a single. We're going to do a double. That's 1 going into that same hole. That is your double. Oops. Okay, get it a little bit closer. So we have a single and we have a double. We're going to do another single, going through both of those loops, and pull that back stitch or back loop through the 2 on the right hand side. Well, maybe. There we go. So that's your single. Now we're going to do a double. Got the pattern, single, double, single, double, single, double. So this one will be a double going into that same hole and pulling a band through. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. That was my double. The next one I'm going to do is a single. So it's single, double, single, double, single, double, all the way until you get to the end, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so I am back, and I have a total of 18, including this one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 is on my hook. Okay, so we're going to remove this. We will do 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and that will be 2 single crochets, increase, and then our last 2 will be an increase. So single crochet. I like to remove that because it's in the way. So we're going to do a single crochet, and then before I go any further, I'm going to reattach this. Let me just get this a little bit closer. Every time I go away and come back, it's it adjusts itself. So that's your first single crochet. Then you will do another single crochet. And then a double. 2 single crochets in this exact same hole right here. Let me pull some of those out. One into the same stitch where you were, right there, you can see it. And here's everywhere. Pull your band through, attach it, and pull it through the 2 on the right. Okay, So that's a single crochet, and then two single crochets in the same hole. And I think I said double crochet, but I did not mean that. If I did, I apologize. So your first single, another single into the next open space, and then two right in here. Hopefully I was on camera. I have a tendency to move my arms when I'm doing a crochet. And then in that same spot right here. Okay, so that is two single crochets, an increase. I think I had called it a double, but an increase. Two single crochets, an increase, two single crochets, an increase, until you get to here. Your last stitch should have two single crochets in it, and you will have a total of 24. Okay, so I'm going to go off, I'll finish mine, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so our next step will be three single crochets and an increase, and you'll have a total of 30, in counting this one that's on your hook. So I'll take that off. This one will be my first one. I'll do that with you one time, otherwise this is going to be so long. So that's my first one, and I put my stitch marker back on. Okay, the next one, so there will be two, and then we will do a third one, and then we will do an increase. So that is 3, and then we will do an increase. So that is 1 in that hole, and here is the second one. Okay, so after this, I'll do this with you one more time. It's 3 single crochets. So that's 1, that is 2, next one is 3, and then an increase in the next stitch. Oops. 1 and 2 in the same hole. Okay, so finish that up all the way around, so you'll have 3 increases, a decrease, 3 increases, decrease, and you should end up with 30 stitches, including the one that is on your hook. Okay, and I will be back when I finish mine. Okay, so I am back, and I have a total of 30 here. Now, sometimes you may lose track of your counts. So, you know, if you did 3 single crochets and a double and 3 and a double, and maybe you missed a double, you might end up with not quite enough on here. Add another one if you're missing one. That's what I do. You know, it's not perfect. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just want to make sure you have a total of 30 all the way around. And I counted this as 1 right here. Okay. And this last one right here was 30. So again, if your count is off, I don't really think it's such a big deal. To me it isn't anyway. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we'll do 4 single crochets and an increase, which will give us 36, and then we'll do 5 single crochets and an increase. So I'm just going to do the first part with you. So, but I don't want this to be too long. It's already going to be long as it is, and I think you can figure that out. So that is 1. Hook that up there. So this is 4 single crochets. 2. Am I close enough? I think so. 3, 4, and then we'll do an increase right here, which is 2 stitches. one. Whoops, I almost lost that, didn't I? Keep my fingers crossed. It happens. All right, so there's 1 and 2. I like to keep my finger on this, because if not, what happens happened. Here's 3 and 4. Okay, and then you'll do an increase, 4 single crochets, an increase, 4 single crochets until you get to the last one right here. You will count this one that is on your hook, and you should have a total of 36 around. I'm going to finish mine and I will be back. Alrighty, so I am back and I have a total of 36 stitches all the way around this, okay, including this one. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and now we are going to do 5 single crochets, an increase, 5 single crochets, and an increase all the way around. So this is my first one. Remember to put your stitch marker back on, because you will lose your space. I've done it more times than not. Okay, so that's 1. Move these over here a little bit. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and your increase will be 2 in the next stitch. There's 1 and 1 more in the same spot. Okay, so 5 single crochets, an increase, 5 single crochets, an increase, 5 single crochets, an increase, and you will have a total of 42 stitches around. I'm going to go ahead, finish mine, and then I will be back and we'll talk about the next step. Okay, so I am back and I have 42 rounds, 42 stitches all the way around, this being my 42nd stitch right here. What we're going to do is we're going to stitch around here, single stitches, 42, 9 times. So I have these laid out, just makes it easier for me. Don't forget to remove your stitch marker, and then we're just going to put your hook in the first one and grab this up for number 1. And then from there you would just use your other pile of white bands. So as soon as you put number 1 on, you want to make sure that you do your stitch marker so you do not lose your spot. And then I'm going to actually move these up here out of the way. Excuse me. Got a catch in my throat. So this will be round 1, and we're going to do 42 stitches all the way around. Just single ones, just like this. I know I do mine a little bit differently than other people, the way they hold their hooks. Whatever is comfortable for you, that's what you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to stitch 42 single crochets all the way around this, and then I will grab up another one of my other bands for the next round. So you want to do that 9 times. So it'll just be single stitches all the way around. Just make sure when you get done that you have a total of 42. Okay, so I'm going to go off. I'm going to do this. Doesn't make any sense for me to show you how I'm doing all these single crochets because it takes a little while to finish that up. All right, so I'm going to finish mine up, count out, make sure that I have 42, and then when I'm done, I'll be back and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I am back and I have finished 9 rows of 42. So it looks a little odd, but trust me, it'll work out just fine. It looks a little flat at the top, but once you stuff it, it'll turn out perfectly. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 stitches, just 10 single stitches. So this is 1, and I will add my stitch marker to that. I can. Okay, so that's 1. I go a little slow, sorry. 2. Get that out of the way. Next one will be 3. 4. 5. 6. Whoops, sorry about that. 6. 7. 8. 9. Oops. And 10. Okay, so we have our 10. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a decrease and 2 stitches. A decrease, stitch, stitch, decrease, stitch, stitch, and you'll do that 4 times. So, decrease is pretty simple. What we're going to do, we're not going to go on the inside here, we're actually going to go on the outside. So we'll pick that stitch up. Let me get a little bit closer here. Alright, so there are your stitches right here. So I'm going to take and this is rounded, scooped out like a bowl. I'm going to reach in, grab the back stitch furthest away from you, and reach in and grab the one next to it. So it will be like this. Okay, so that is a decrease. And you'll pull a band through both of those, and then attach it and pull it through here. So that's 1. Now we're going to do 2 stitches. So that's 1 decrease. Oops, band's flying all over. 1 stitch, 2 stitches. This is our second decrease. We're going to use that one and that one. So grab it, hold on to this, and reach over and grab the other one, just like that. Pull a band through both of those, attach, and pull that outer loop through these 2. That's 2. Do 2 more singles. 1 and 2, just like that. So we're going to do the third decrease. Again, go in here, pull it, go in here, just like that. You'll pull a band through both of those. Attach that band and pull it through. Okay, 2 more stitches. 1 and 2. Okay, then we're going to do 1 more decrease. 1 here. Grab that, grab that band. Pull it and grab the other band. You'll have that on there. You'll pull a band through these 2. 1 and 2, and then attach it and pull that outer band through those 2. Okay, now I did that 4 times, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just single stitch all the back here. What this is this starts the back of his neck, where the neck goes down. So you've got the skull. So I believe it's 18. So go ahead, finish doing those all the way to the end, And a hair in there. How'd that get in there? Dogs. So we should end up with 38 stitches around, single stitches to the end there, and I will be back. Alrighty, so I am back and I have 38 stitches around. I'm going to remove this and we're going to do 2 rows of 38. Just single stitches all the way around. First one in. Make sure you place that stitch marker back on. I always close mine because I'm always afraid it's going to fall apart. And go ahead and continue. I'm going to leave that out and use that as the first one of my second row, so I know that I'm doing 2. I get distracted with the dogs and, you know, husband and stuff like that. So go ahead and do 2 rows of 38 and I'll be back with you. Alright, so I am back and I have done my 2 single rows of 38 or 38 single stitches 2 times around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 decreases, a single, 2 decreases, a single, and 2 decreases. And then we will do 22 and then finish it up with the decrease. I'll show you. Alright, so for your decrease, a little bit closer, we're going to go into these 2 stitches right here on the outside. So in one, the other one, pull a band through those 2 on your hook, attach, and close it off. And that's 1. And that is your first stitch, so you want to place your stitch marker there. Okay. Oh, it seems like that's a little close. It looks a little fuzzy, doesn't it? Ooh, that was way too close. All right, so that was your first decrease. Do a stitch, single stitch like before. Going to work on your second decrease, which will go into this one and this one. So in, pull a band through those 2. If your fingers will allow you to pick it up. Close and pull that through those 2 on the right hand side. So that is number 2. Do a single stitch, and then your third decrease. In, pull a band through those 2 loops, that loop and that loop, attach, pull your band through those 2 loops. All right, so that's your third one. Now we're going to do 22. I'm going to go off. I'll do my 22 single stitches starting with this one, and I will come back and show you how to finish off with the decreases. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I finished my 22 stitches and I'm ready to start up with the decreases again. So this is your first one. Pull a band through those 2, close it off, single, right there, and then another decrease. Pull that band through, attach, pull that end through the 2 that are there. Should have 3 left on here. So that will be a single and then your decrease. Okay. So there's your single, and then your last stitch on here will be a decrease. Okay. So that will give us 32 stitches around. Okay. So what we're going to do now, and if you take a look at it, you can see the back. Let's see, here you go. You can see the back here has a dip to it and the front does not. So that is the skull, the back portion of his head. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to run through 32 32 stitches all the way around. I'll start you off and then I'll go away, do mine, and then I will be back. So here's the first one. And I keep telling you, but I need to remind you and myself not to forget to put that stitch marker there. Now, I'm using my little trusty plastic safety pin, but you can use a regular safety pin, you can use a C-clip, an S-clip, a bobby pin, whatever you have handy for your stitch markers. You don't have to go out and buy anything fancy schmancy, you know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish mine up. That will be 32 all the way around, and then I will come back when I am finished with mine. Alright, so I finished that single row of 32 stitches, and now we're going to do 2 decreases, 9 stitches, a decrease, 2 stitches, a decrease, 9 stitches, a decrease, and a decrease, and I'll just go through the whole thing with you. Alright, so we're going to grab right here for your decrease, same as before, and then we will put the stitch marker on that. Ooh, get myself a little bit of wiggle room there. Alright, so there's your decrease, and that is your first stitch. Replacing that stitch marker. And then we'll do another decrease. Let me get a little bit closer. So in, whoops, just that one band, that one loop on the outside. Pull your band through those 2. You can use your fingers to get them over if you have to, however you need to do it. And pull that through. Okay, now we're going to do 9 single stitches. So 1, 2, 3, again I'm getting out of frame, sorry about that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, so once you have those 9 done, we are going to add decrease, and then we will do 2 stitches, 2 singles, and 2. Then we will do a decrease, and then after this decrease we're going to do 9 stitches, one, two, oh, again, sorry, 3, hopefully you're listening to what I'm saying, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now that I'm here, I just want to take a look and make sure that I did not miss any stitches, because it will be it looks like I missed one. Decrease. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I did not miss any. There are 4 left here, and it will be a decrease and a decrease. Let's see. Tell you how much I know. Can't even follow my own written instructions. It did take me quite a while to figure this out. I'm telling you, it was crazy, but tight underscore knots pushed me to it. So I'm glad I did it, because I mean, I'm not a big Halloween person, but you know, a lot of you are, and it's kind of cool. So let's see here. Now we can take a look. You can see it's actually taking shape. That is the back skull. It's kind of hard to, without it being full of stuffing, it's hard to figure it out. But it's, whoops, don't lose that. It's looking really good. So that's what I get for messing everything around. All right, so from now, so we have 26 around, and we're going to do 4 rows of 26. Now, this is where I'm going to add, let me take a look at the other one. I think I did a single, okay, so do 26 around, just your single stitches, and then I'll show you, this is the first one, I'll show you how I did the teeth or the mouth. Just going to mark that for my first stitch, adding my stitch marker. I'm going to go off, I'll do the 26, and then when I come back, I'll show you what I did on the last 3 rows. So you're going to end up with 4 rows of 26 around, but just do 1 row first, and if you want to do the mouth the way that I did, the teeth the way that I did, come back after the first row. Alrighty, so I am back with my 26 stitches here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a color change, but I'm not going to do, you know, like a regular color change. We're just going to add it in just like any other band. So we're going to do 9 singles. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, gotta get some more bands, sorry. That was 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 more. 8 and 9. Okay, so from here we're going to add 4 black bands, and it will be every other band will be black. Let me just pull those out of here. So I'm just going to add my black band same way I did the white. So it'll be black, white, black, white, and black. Yeah, let me make sure I get this right. And then we will add 1 more. So you'll have, after that black one, you will add a white one. And then 1 more black one. And then finish off your stitches with white. Okay, and can you see what I did here? I left my stitch marker off. So I'm going to have to count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and put my stitch marker in here. Goodness me. All right, well, happens. Happens, happens. Okay. Then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white. Okay? Yeah. Do what I say, not what I do, right? All right, so finish off those white to your stitch marker, and then we're going to start 8 white, and then we'll just do the black, and then 8 more white. I think that's how that turns out. We'll figure it out. I sort of played this one by ear because I wasn't sure, you know, how many I needed, and I didn't actually mark it out. But I think, I'm pretty sure I wrote this part down, although I didn't. Usually what I'll do is I'll mark the stitches down and then figure out where I'm going to place everything. But I did not do that this time, did I? All right, so, and this is your second row of 26, by the way. Okay, making sure that I'm still in here, and then I have 2 left. And silly me, that is 1 and 2. It gets a little bit harder as this gets, you know, closer together, but you can do it. I have all the faith in the world in you. All right, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put in my first one and put my stitch marker back on. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot that after telling you how many times to do that. Yeah, that's me, all right. All right, so I believe I said 8. I'll look at that when I get to it. So there's 2, 3, 4, stuck on my finger, 5, 6, 7, and then we will do one more. That will be 8, and then we're going to do black, and I can't remember how many, but just follow along with me. So I'm changing my color right here. Now there's a special way to do a color change, and if you go on to Izzylicious, onto Kate's site, onto her YouTube, she can show you how to do that. So if you decide you want to change the way the teeth are laid out, I mean, you know, there's nothing to stop you. Use your creativity. I just decided to do it this way. That's if you want to. Of course, you don't have to. And I need some more black. I didn't even count, did I? Okay, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, that's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. I believe I need one more. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So 9. And then we will have 8 white stitches. Okay? Yes. May as well do the mouth with you. We're almost done. We'll have one more row after this. So you'll do your 8 white stitches. Come on. It was just to give him some kind of a mouth. I know Kate has a, oh, what does she have on her site? She has Nightmare Before Christmas. I think she has Jack, and she puts some teeth on him, and she does the color change. And I just, like I said, I just chose not to do the color change. So if you want to play around with it, you know, by all means, please go ahead and do that. That's what the fun part is about this, is that you can just, you know, make it your own. This one, I mean, for your flowers, you can use all kinds of colors for your flowers. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. For this particular one, I'm actually going to use red, black, and white only. Right, so that was the end of that. So now we're going to start with 9 stitches. Here's our first one. And this is this is the 4th row of 26, I believe it was. Stitch marker, don't forget it. Don't be a Gigi and forget your stitch marker. So it's 1. Oh goodness, I'm running out of white here. That's 2. Let me open this up. Throw some more down here. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7. Oh, I may have miscounted, but you'll see where to start. 8, 9. Okay. Now I'm looking at this. I'm going to do a white one here, and you can see right here is where this one is. So I believe that's 9. I'm just going to pull that through there, and then we're going to do another black. So you can make his teeth jagged. I mean, you can make him have 2 pointing up and 1 pointing down. Then we'll go to white. You know, make it your own by all means. Here's your second black. Then we'll go to white. And your third black. Then we will have a white. And then your 4th black. And then from here on, you'll just do white all the way down to the end. Okay, I'm going to go off. I'll finish my white. I'm going to go off and take a look. I believe I may have put an extra row in here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And when you're done, do one more row of white. Okay, one more row of white all the way around. Should be for a count of 26. All right, I'm going to do that. Like I said, once you finish these teeth here, do one more row around of 26 stitches, and then I'll meet you right back. Alrighty, so I did the last of that, which was 26, I believe, and I think what we're going to end up with this next one is 20. It might be 22, but either way. We're going to be working in the front loop here. That will be this loop right here. So that's the loop closest to you. Go a little bit closer. And we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease, 2 single crochets and a decrease all the way to the end. So we're going to go in and just grab the first loop, the loop closest to you. You'll have the one on the back side there hanging out. Just let her hang out there all by herself, and you're going to pull a loop through, and that will be your first one. And attaching my stitch marker. Okay. All right, so that's the first one. So there will be 2 single crochets. So that's one. We'll go to the next one, which is right here. Okay. I'm going to pull a band through that, attach, and close. And now we're going to do a decrease. And this stitch right here, this loop right here, closest to you. Okay, so you'll grab that one, you'll go over and grab the next one that is closest to you, leaving the 2 on the outside hanging out. Pull your band through that, attach, and pull that through. Okay, going to do 2 more singles. This is worked not in this back band loop here. This is worked in the front loop, the loop that is closest to you. Okay, so you're going to do 2 of those, 2 singles. There is one. We're getting close to the end. You guys can hear my dogs rattle around here. Yeah. Okay, so there's your second single. Going to go in, and sometimes it helps if you twist it a little bit. But you can see this loop right here. We're working in this one right here. Right? So that's going to be a decrease. So it looks just like that when you pull it out. Add your band to those 2, close it, and close. Okay, and 2 more singles. Single here, and I'll show you what that does in just a moment. So that's 1, and here comes your next single. I'm going to pull that through, and then we'll do another decrease. I think I can probably let you go off and do these decreases on your own, but I want to show you, I want to put enough in here to show you what it does. Okay, so if you look at it, it's making an edge right here so that there is sort of a flatness to the bottom of your skull. Okay, so that was a decrease. So 2 singles, a decrease, 2 singles, a decrease until you get to the end, and make sure that you are working this loop right here, not the back one, this loop, because we want that edge to be on here. I think you can see it, and I'll show it to you again when I get done with mine. All right, I'll be right back. So I'm back, and you can see what working in that front loop did. Okay, it flattened that out. All right, so I just took this off of here. So I was getting ready to do this, and then I did not record. So we're going to just put your loop in there. I'm going to take that out. So we're working a regular single crochet, and then I will add my stitch marker. Okay, now we're going to go back to the regular way of doing your decrease. So instead of the one that was closest to us, which would cause that ridge to be on there, we're going to take the one that is furthest away, loop the 2 that are next to each other, pull your band through, attach, and pull it through. Okay, so that's one, and this thing sometimes gets in the way, so you just have to, especially when you get close to the end, it gets a little fiddly. All right, so we're going to do a regular single stitch, pull that through, going back to your normal way of doing your decrease, which will be here, on the outside, the loop furthest away from you. Pull this through and close. Like I said, it gets a little close. So regular stitch. I'll just finish up these last couple of stitches with you. Decrease, back loop, pull your band through, close, pull it through, regular stitch, decrease, using the loops that are furthest away from you, grab those two, pull a band through, single, going through the two bands, decrease, and as you can see it's getting smaller and smaller. Okay, so comes your decrease, and we're going to pull a band through that. We're almost to the end of this. Okay, regular stitch. My dogs are jingle jangling. They've got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Yeah, I'll keep my day job. All right, so a decrease, and then a single stitch. Okay, I lost count of how many I'm supposed to have here, but it's okay because we're getting close to closing all this up anyway. All right, so now that you have this, what we're going to do is we're going to stuff it. So I'm going to just pull that way over there because I do not want to lose that. And grab my stuffing. I'll be right back because it's going to make a lot of noise. Oh, look, fluffy clouds. All right, so we're just going to take small pieces of it and push it in. I'm not sure how much. You can fill it to your heart's content, I suppose. I would not overfill it, though, because if you overstuff it, it is going to come out through the little holes that you have because of the looming. So I'm going to finish stuffing this, and then I like to pull little pieces like that so that it's more fluffy. Okay, so I'm going to finish stuffing this, and then I will be back and we will finish this little guy off. Alrighty, I have my my skull stuffed, and you want to just stuff it enough so that it's got, you know, some shape to it. You want to make sure that your back here is designed, has that curvature to it. I may have added one too many rows to this. I don't think my other one is curved quite as much, but I don't think it's really going to matter. So what we're going to do now is we're going to I'm not even sure how many, I don't remember the count, but we are going to decrease until this closes up. Okay, so I'm going to take this off of here, and I will decrease starting right here. So that's one, and you might have to just move them, you know, so that you can get a hold of them. And I will pull that through those two, attach, and pull that through here. I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker up here. I don't think at this point you really need that stitch marker, but I'm going to put it there anyway. And you may have to fiddle with it to, you know, be able to grab a hold of these. So that's one. I'm going to go into the next loop, and these are the loops that are furthest away from you. And pull them, get a hold of them, pull, yeah, see, it gets a little tougher the closer it is. Again, these are just your normal decrease. Using the, actually now it's the one that's on top, you can see. Okay, so there's one loop, and here's the next loop. Pull your band through those two loops, attach, pull that through the two that are left, go and grab the next ones. It's a lot easier to see them. You know, my fuzzy was in the way, and I got two that time, so we just want one, just like that. So all we're doing right now is closing this up, and that one, go on to the next one, taking that outer loop, which now seems to be on top because it's closing in on itself. Okay, it looks like I may have one too many in here, but I will be fine. I will move that stitch marker and just do one more. Come on. And that will be my last one. As you can see, it's closed up pretty well. Get that last one, close it up. I mean, you could keep going if you wanted. You know, if it's not closed up enough for your liking, then do a couple of more decreases and it should be okay. All right, so now that I have this, I'm going to just grab another one of the loops, it doesn't matter, just one right across, and then I'm going to do a slip knot right here. Oh, come on. Just a slip knot. Tie it tight, and then I'm going to reach in back here anywhere, and when I do this, I'm going to actually have my hook open in towards the stuffing so it doesn't get caught as I'm pulling this through. Okay, and then I'm going to just push this up through the center here anywhere, grab that loop and pull it down into the body. Okay, come on, there we go. All right, and then I'm gonna get my hook out of there. Okay, so I have a little bit of a lump, but I'm okay. Well, did it even take it? Oh, it didn't take it. Let's try this again. Just want to reach up and grab that slip knot part of it and pull it down into there. I think it's in now. Okay. And you might be better at this part of it than I am, but it's okay. It's going to work. See there? Flat. And now we're ready to do the flowers. And yeah, got a little lump there, but I pushed it and it's in pretty good. So that's not going anywhere as long as that's not what is happening. Oh, I don't know what strange thing. I'm looking at the thing, I'm talking to you and I'm looking, and then all of a sudden it's just stopped. So anyway, we're going to prepare for the flowers, and I'll show you how to put everything together, and I will be back. Okay, so now that we have the skull done, we're going to work on the leaves. So you want to take your hook and wrap your band around 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put that on a single band. I don't always find this easy. So you can lift them up and over if you want. I like to twirl them to get them on, maybe. And then one more there. Okay, so move that down about halfway. Leave this end hanging off. Grab up another band, pull it through the one that's on your hook, close it, pick up the other end, pull a band just through that one, close it, and then take your last band and pull it through all 4. Okay, and that will make your leaf. So you can make as many of these as you want. I chose to make 5. 2 of my flowers will have 2 on it and 1 will have just 1 leaf. Okay, so you want to take, as you do these, you can put them on another hook or you can put them on a pencil. I have one of these that I just put them on, and I'm going to set those aside. Okay, so I have 5 little leaves. All right, I'll be back with my other color, and we will work on the flowers. And you can choose to put as many flowers on this as you want. I'm only putting 3. Okay, so next we have our flower. I'm going to use black for the center. So 1, 2, 3. You can do 3 or 4. I think we'll do 4 on this one. Doesn't really matter. I mean, just depends on what you want your center to look like. Take your center band or a single band and pull it through those bands or hooks, I can't even talk, that are on the bands that are on your hook. It will look like this. You want to do a slip knot at this point. So you attach the other end, pull it through, and give it a tug. And that will be the center right here for our flowers. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Oh, better give it a little better tug or it's going to come apart. There we go. Set that aside. Okay, so I've chosen to use red for the inside, for my flowers. So 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. I'm going to pull a band through all of that. I know I do mine weird. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to attach it. So it looks like this. And then we're going to pull a band through both of those. Okay, I'm going to make 12 loops around because I like my flower kind of full. So what you want to do once you get this is you're actually going to go back in through your cap band, and everything's going to be worked in the center of this cap band. And pull your band through the cap band and attach it just like that. Hopefully I'm close enough. Okay, once we do that, we're going to pull a band through all 4. And so basically that's it for adding your petals. So I'm going to put 2 leaves on this. So you go back through your cap band, and I'm going to put the leaf on starting right now. Pull your single band through the cap band and let that hang right there. Okay, so it will look like this. Alright, so then I'm going to take the 2 loops that are attached here, and I'm going to add those to my hook, pulling that off. Then I'm going, it doesn't matter whether this is on this side or the other side, I just like to keep it out of the way. Reattach that one that's hanging off. Okay, and once you have that, you're going to take the leaf that you just put on and you're going to pull it off of the end and onto this loop right here. And that attaches your leaf. Okay, pull a band through all 4 and then we start over. I'm going to go through the cap band here. It's kind of hard to see. Sometimes you can use a paper clip or whatever to, if you need to figure out where that is. I just missed one. There we go. Pull a band through the cap band and attach, and then pull a band through all 4. Okay, I am going to add the second leaf to this in a moment, and you can skip that part if you want and just continue to make your petals going through the cap band, pulling the band through, attaching, and adding another band through all 4. Okay, I think I'm going to add it right here. So I'll go through my cap band, I'll add a single band and let it hang off the end, just like that. Just be careful not to lose it. And I will take my last leaf, which gets a little fidgety, attach it to my hook, pull it off, moving that to the back. I'm going to reattach the one that was hanging out, and then I'm going to pull my leaf loops up and over, just like that. And now I have 4. I will pull a band through that. Okay, and you can do that as, I mean, you can add as many leaves as you want. I wouldn't add too many, but you can certainly add leaves to it. Going back through the center cap band, pull a band through, attach, and pull a band through all 4. I'm probably going to do 12 petals. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let me get this back. Probably going to do 12 petals on this because I like them kind of full. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm just going to pull them apart. So another one, single band through the cap band, attach a band to all 4 on your hook. Okay, do another one. Like I said, I like them full. I didn't want them too loose. So pull that through, attach, pull another band through, attach. Let's check this out again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can fast forward through this if you already know what you want to do. You know, if you think yours is full enough, then by all means get ready to close it up. I'm probably going to add 2 more. So attach, you've got 4 there, pull a band through all 4, and then I'm going to do 1 more. Through the center, pull a band through, attach, you'll have 4, and pull your last band through all 4 of those. Okay, once you have this, we aren't going to go, well, goodness, look at that, I just came undone. What did I do? All right, I'll have to do that again. Let me just grab this back and grab this back, pull that out. I'll do that one more time. Happens to me more times than not when I'm not paying attention and I don't have my fingers where they belong. All right, so there's 4. Pull this band through all 4 and attach. Okay, so I'm back to where I was, and I think that will be good. All right, so holding on to these, you'll see there are 2. There's a loop here and a loop here. I go into the top loop, and then I do a slip stitch, pulling that band through all 4, and then creating my slip stitch and giving it a nice tug. All right, so from here, what I do is I don't want it hanging out, and I don't think you do either. So I'm going to just go through, I'm going to pull that band through, come on, and just kind of hide it a little bit, okay? And then so that this is not loose hanging out here, when I bring up my stamen, the little part, this little black part right here, I'm going to actually put my hook through the back up through the back and through that loop. So that's just hanging on there. It kind of hides it. And then I'm going to pull this through all the way. Come on, all the way through. Okay, and give it a little bit of a tug. Now on the other ones that I did, I put something on here so it would not come loose. So like that, if you want, depending upon how many flowers you have. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and use this one, so I don't think I need to do that. All right, I'm going to back it up a little bit, and then I'm going to decide where to place this guy. And I think I'm going to put him right here. Okay, it's easy enough. Decide where you want to put it. Put your hook in, bring it up, grab the loose band here, pull it through, okay, and to secure it, what you want to do is you just want to take it, splay it out, and push that flower through. Yeah, I want to get that leaf in there. All right, and now it's attached. It is attached. And then I can give those a little bit of a wiggle and get them to lay the way I want. Okay, you could stitch these down if you wanted. I choose not to. I kind of like them like that. So decide where you want your other flowers and place them. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going a little bit out of turn here because I decided to do the flowers first, and then we're going to do the eyes and the nose also. So decide where you want to put your flowers and put them on the exact same way. I probably should have done the eyes first, but I know where the eyes are going and I know where the nose is going, so I'm okay with that. All right, I'm going to put my flowers on, and I'll come back and we can talk about making the eyes. So we're ready to make our eyes. Isn't this a cute daisy? So I guess you could use that for a daisy flower if you wanted. I mean, I know I'm using red, but black and yellow or brown and yellow would be awesome for a daisy, and you could put it on a bracelet. I mean, really, that's so, so cute. All right, so let's get started with this. Going to use a regular configuration. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay the these the border bands here. So we're doing actually a starburst. All right, so in order to get this, what you want to do is you just want to wrap, take 5 bands and wrap, just do a double, just like that, 5 times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more. Okay, and then whatever color you're using for your center, you want to put those on that band, or your border, I should say. But you know, these are on there, so your border, you can't really see your border. So once you have this, what you want to do is you want to take the one end and put it right here. Okay, and then make sure they stay on there, and then just bring that to here. Okay, I'll do that with you again. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll add that to my black band. Sometimes it's easier to add this band to the end first, and I'll do that the next time and show you what I mean. Okay, so you attach it just like that. You're going to actually do 6 of those. So let's do one more thing here, and then you'll do the same thing up the other side. I'll go off and do mine. This tutorial is already very long. 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to grab my black band, and I'm actually going to put it right here and then slide these on. Whatever is easier for you. I mean, this isn't even looking like it's easy. It doesn't. It seems like it's getting stuck. But however you can get those on there, that's what you want to do. And then once you get them on, you just attach that band. Okay, so do the same thing on the other side, starting here. So we'll have one here, here, and here. And then I'll be right back with mine. Okay, so I am back and I finished the other side up to here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black and I'm going to run it like a starburst. So I'm going to go straight up, pushing those down, diagonal to the right, and you'll need to make 2 of these. Diagonal down, straight up and down, pushing the center ones down, diagonal down to the left, and diagonal up to the left. Okay, so once we finish with this, we're going to put a cap band on the center, and I do triple. 1, 2, let's see if I can get that third one. 3. All right, so now that we have this done, we're going to flip it around and loop it up. First one is this one, I believe, the one on top. So go in through those cap bands. Try not to pop them off. Oh, sorry for my hands being in the way. Grab that band, bring it down. That's 1. Your diagonal that goes up to the right. Next band will be the one that goes straight up, my even in frame. Your diagonal to the left, diagonal to the right, and then the one that goes straight up and down. Okay, now that we have this done, we're going to do the border. So you're going to reach in, grab the one that's on top. I believe that should be the one that goes to the right. And you'll know because it'll have a teardrop shape. That's 1. Reach in, grab the one on the bottom, bring it up. Reach in, grab the one on the bottom, bring it up to the top center. Drop back down, do the other side of the border. Come on. There we go. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take another band. I did not put a closure band on this, but I'm going to do that now. And go through everything that's on that pin. Grab a band, pull it through, and then we're going to do a slip knot right there before we take that off. Just make sure everything is secure, looks good. And just lift, whoops, let's see if I turn it around the right way. Just lift this off. I would not pull this off depending upon what kind of bands you used, because you know it's a little tight. All right, there we go. So there, cute, cute, cute. Okay, you can add more loops to this if you want, less loops, you know, just depends on how fluffy you want that. Okay, so I have 2. What we're going to do now is we're going to work on the nose. Nose is fairly simple. Take a band, 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I use 3 or 4. Okay, and then 4. Let's try that again. So it'll be 4 loops. Oh, get off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring that onto a band. I'm using black, obviously. And that on. I always have trouble with those. Okay, And once you have that on, to kind of straighten it out a little bit. Okay. What we want to do now is we want to just add a slip knot to the end of one of those. Just like that. So it will look like this. Okay, so I'm back and I've actually already put one on. I had to double check and make sure I was doing it correctly. So I have mine here. I'm going to go ahead and add that slip knot, which is where we left off. Okay, just to this one end. You know, you do something and it was a couple of days ago and I completely forgot what it was that I did. So you want to put that on here, just like that. And then what we're going to do is decide where we want to place it. And I'm going to place mine right in there somewhere. Okay, so let's go. I want to figure out where this is. I'm going to just stick my hook in and I'm going to come up about, well, I guess I'll come up exactly where I was before. All right, so from here, then there might be an easier way to do this. I don't know. This is just the way I'm doing it. You want to pull the one end through. Okay. Once you get the one end through, I'm going to give this a little bit of a twirl here because I'm liking the way like that side right there, how it's more flat than the other side. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these and I'm going to actually slip knot them together. These two ends that the one that I just pulled through and then the one that's loose. I can get them in there. All right, so slip knot and tighten that up. Whoops. I think I'm getting excited because we're almost to the end. Just like that. And then they'll be hanging out kind of funny. So what you want to do is you want to, and you can go in from anywhere. I'm going to go in like from over here. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to grab those from where they are right here. See where they are coming out of? I'm going to go in. I'm going to reach in. And I'm going to grab the top one. And you can see I've got some fuzzies in there. And I'm going to just pull it. I'm going to pull it through as best I can. And of course it doesn't want to go. Come on. There we go. Still not wanting to, so I'm going to pull out of this one. And then I will go in here. Just do whatever you can to make that pull through. You want it inside. Here we go. All right. So there's my nose. It's a little crooked, but it's on nonetheless. Okay. I'm going to back up just a little. Can I back up? No, of course not. All right, so it's time for the eyes. I want the eyes pretty close together, close to the nose. So I just figure out where I want to put it. I find a spot that I think will be good and just bring my hook up through that spot. Okay, just like we did with the flowers, we're going to grab that loop that's hanging off the end, pull it through. We're going to splay it open and secure that eye, just like that. Okay, might be a little close, but I can move it over a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one with a guesstimate as to where I'm going to put my eye. I think maybe right in here. And hook, pull through, splay it open, and push that eye or flower through. Okay, cute. I'm liking it. There we go. I moved him over so his eyes are not quite so close together. And you could probably double that up to make it a little bit more secure, but they're not going to come off. Okay, so what I did on this one right here was I did a little bit of a design, trying to decide what color to do that in. I think I'm going to do it in, I don't know what color, but I'm going to show you There's a lot of red on here. Should I do it in black? Should I do it in red? What should I do it in? Of course, nobody's here to answer me. Oh, see, anyway, you could leave it like this if you want. But I'm going to go ahead and do at least one here and then one down here. And I'll just show you from here how I did that. And I think I'm going to do it in green because I only have a little bit of green in there, so I'll tie it in a little bit more. All right. So first thing I did was to secure it, I just put it around the flower. I just did a hoop, a band around the flower. Okay, and then I'm going to decide how I want this to go. So I take it and I twist it just a couple of times, and then I add a slip stitch to it with it twisted. Wait a minute. Take that back. I hook it where I want it to go, and then I add the slip knot because that will be my next. Hopefully you can see this. Having trouble getting that on there because it's twisted. Okay. So now I add my slip stitch. I'll do that again in case you missed it because I don't know what I'm doing here. On the fly. So anyway, that attaches that. See there? Right there. So we're going to twist this one again, and I'm going to get an idea of how I want it. I think I want it to come around right here. So I'm going to put it right in here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm going to add a band. I'm going to hold that right there. And then I'm going to just pull this one over, makes it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to slip knot that. And my dogs are jingle jangling. They won't stop. Flower, stop. Jeez Louise. Okay, so same thing here. Going to give that a little bit of a twist. I kind of want it to come around a little bit, so I'm going to just put it in here. And you can figure out, whoops, I lost that, didn't I? You can figure out how, you want your design to go. Or if you don't want a design, you don't have to put one on. But I think I'm going to put a design on here. At least this one, and then I'll go off and do the other design. You get the idea, so that's what counts. All right, so I'm just going to pull that in. I'm going to pull this one over because it's easier. Whoops, maybe. Attach the other end of this and do my slip knot. What that does is it doesn't leave you any big gapping holes. Like if you just did slip knots, see if I put that on there, I would have a funky gap looking thing there. So another twist. It doesn't matter how many times you twist it how many ever times you'd like. And I think I'm going to put that one right in here. I'm just picking up one, maybe two loops. It doesn't matter as long as it's secure. Okay, pulling this through, holding on to it, pulling this one over, and doing my slip knot. Just like that. And again with the twisting. And I think I'm going to put him right here. Band through, slip knot, and we're going to twist him again. I'm going to put it right here, I believe. One or two, it doesn't really matter. Oops, but not a whole bunch. Whoops, one too many. Okay, pulling. If you can get it through that band, that's fine. You won't have to turn it up, flip it over. Slip knot. You can see it's starting to take shape. And I'm almost done with it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a twist this way. Let's see, I'm going to turn him out the other way. I'm going to put him right here. Yeah, right in here. So you can figure out your own pattern. It doesn't matter. And like I said, if you don't want to put one on there, you certainly don't have to. A slip knot. And then I'm going to bring him right here, I believe. Let's give him a twist. I'm twist him the other way. Oops, don't lose him. And then I'm going to put it right here. Just on this one. And there we go with the slip knot, and that is the final one. So what I'm going to do now, may have turned that the wrong way, it looks a little funny. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to reach in anywhere, come up to where that slip knot is, okay, grab it and then hide it. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, I know it's not perfect, but hey, with looming it's kind of hard sometimes to get that perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go off, I'm going to finish this one up here, and then I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about it. Thank you. Be right back. Okay, so I am back and I have finished my little decorations here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little long. I apologize, and I would love to see any recreations that you make. I mean, it just would be awesome. Again, so this will actually be called 3D Fantasia Calavera, and I will take some pictures and post it. So thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I could not have done this without Lana's and Tide_Knots encouragement. So you guys take care, and as always, be kind.